I'm Timothy Gilbert. I'm here on this, I'm working on this 1996 Chevrolet Corsica. Car runs out real well. Speedometer reads 200 some thousand, but I think the engine's got less than 100,000 on it. So I'm going to use it for a service vehicle. And it's a fuel pump. As you can see, I've got it jacked up. Got jacks under it with jack stands for support. I cut this old tree log, piece of a log, and stuck it under that side. Then I went and bought a fuel filter. A lot of times they say if you'll buy a fuel filter and put on, you won't have to change the fuel pump. But if you can hear that pump running, you've got a problem. You need to put a filter on. So here's the filter. I've got it in here. But I went ahead and took the filter off when we cut the car on, turned the ignition on, and took the line off. It didn't squirt fuel, so we got a bad fuel filter. I mean a fuel pump. So, climbing under here so you can see what we've done. Now right here, I disconnected the fuel filter. Had this little line on the end of it. You just push in on the sides of the bracket and pull it off. Two little release things on each side. And disconnect this for the fuel pump, which is right here on this housing. As you can see, there's another one here that goes to your ABS system, I do believe. And so I disconnect the one that's coming from the fuel tank. Your fuel lines, it's got little tags on them, as you can see. You just disconnect them. One's got a bracket like this here, and then the other one's just a straight on hose like that. See, you just plug this hole straight up on it. It's got a little clamp here you take off right here. So you got 1, 2 lines from the tank to disconnect, and then you got the third, which is your power supply. Then you come out here and you got your lines where you put your gas in. I was going to take it off up here at the door, but instead I just disconnected it right here in this joint. As you can see, your overflow and air pressure. So you got this off. You got your power supply disconnected. First, by the way, disconnect your battery. You don't want to be arcing back here with fumes. You end up in a bad situation. Alright, so got your lines to fuel pump coming from the top of the tank. One's a power source. These other 3 little lines are, one's to a fuel filter, and the other 2 are to your pump inflow and outflow to your pump. They go in your tank. So just connect all those lines. I got about a half tank of gas in here. I'm not going to drain it. They say drain them. Put your pump in, that way you can make sure the float works right, but I'm going to put it in just like it is. Well, got my jack here holding the tank up. Now, you got 2 bolts. See these 2 bands on the tank? Got to take those off. Right here, there's one, and the other right here. See? Spray them with some penetrating spray or something first, because they are a doozy to break loose. If you'll spray the penetrating spray on, they'll break loose fairly easy. You let them set for a couple hours. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this tank off. I'm going to lower it down here. I'm going to take this band down. This band. I'm not going to take the other side off at all. I'm not going to bother it. I'm just going to let it flop down like at a 45. Slide it out. I'll have to work these 2 hoses back around this support here. And then when I pull it out, I'm going to go back over here. I'll go back over here. Everybody's leaving. Okay, thanks. Here is the fuel pump I bought. It says you got to put this new pigtail on because of a fault in the others. Now the part that plugs into the body is entirely shaped entirely different. This plugs into this pump. All right.
come haircutting the one that was going to the body. I'm glad it didn't. It'll plug back in. Just the one here that would plug into this, I'll have to clip it and put this one back on in its place. Would be no problem. There's an O-ring that goes down. You know, you slide it, your pump, when you got your hole in the tank, you put this down. Lube it up a little bit with some lube. Got it right here in the bag. You squirt the rest of that into this little socket. And you know, that seals it the way you won't have any arcing. Once you have your tank off, you take this off, you install this back onto the new tank in the hole. Then you insert your pump through this. You know, seal it up, twist it back in place. I'll show you once we get done what we got going here. All right, I'm Timothy Gilbert. Stay tuned. Oh, by the way, you'll need a 15mm socket for the bolts to take the bands down. Probably a straight screwdriver to take any clamps loose, or anything that's got a grip on something you need to pry with. It's good to have a flathead screwdriver. So far, that and pliers is the only thing I've needed. The pliers are for the little clamps that's, you know, you've got to squeeze them together. At this point, that is all I need. That and my, you know, my regular tools here, the jack and stuff. Okay, I'll let you know.